こんルアー岩波ルアーです。Hello guys. I'm Lure Iwanami, and tonight we're going to be doing something that's not like our not like the usual let me make myself a little bitter. We're gonna be doing something that's not like the usual music stream. Like, it's not like the piano playing streams that I usually do. It's not like the rhythm gaming things that I usually do. It's not the composing things that I usually do. We're doing something completely different. Hello there, Sayaka, Lunar Veggie, Wrong for Rabbit, and Azumi for coming to tonight's stream. Really appreciate you guys. But yeah, what are we going to be doing today or tonight? Well, we got ourselves pretty cromulent FL Studio workstation here, or at least part of it, because tonight we're going to be messing around with some synthesizers. We're going to be messing around with some synthesizers in pursuit of me learning how to use these synthesizers, and two, hopefully teaching you guys how to synthesis. Or at least how to synthesizers in context of music, because that is very important. And I'll try I am mostly going to be exploring what is in FL Studio's collection. So if you use anything else other than FL Studio, I will try my best to at least explain the fundamentals of synthesizers, so that way you guys can potentially learn how other synthesizers work in like other programs and stuff, you know. That being said, let's cut off the background music and set our sights to some FL Studio goodness, shall we? Starting with this baby right here. It is called, this name goes by this thing goes by many pronunciations. You can call it the 3x oscillator. You can call it the 3x OSC. You can call it the 3 times oscillator, the 3x oscillator. That was my personal name of choice. Is my personal name of choice, but when I actually use it, but by the gods themselves, the official pronunciation of this baby is 3osk. I didn't know that it was actually supposed to be pronounced 3osk until I saw like one of ImageLine's videos on the thing. And it's like, oh yeah, we finally added a new plugin to we added a new instrument to FL Studio Mobile. 3osk. And they even said it too.
3osk. 3osk.
Why is it called 3osk? No, I'm calling it 3xos. God. But if whatever pronunciation comes out of my mouth, know that I am referring to this baby. So, what does the 3x oscillator do? Very simple oscillators. There's 3 of them. Usually you will only need 1 of them. Konua, because it has 3 because it has 3 oscillators. So yeah, 3osk. You know, now that I really think about it, 3osk actually rolls off the tongue a lot more than 3x OSC and 3x oscillator. But yeah, so little basics about synthesizers. This one is the most straightforward to like see what exactly does what. And it's one of the biggest reasons why I actually like using this. Because it is very straightforward. So like you have all of your waveforms right here. So you got a sine wave. You got yourself you got a triangle, which adds a little bit of color. While still being somewhat smooth, and then this is basically getting rid of all, just smashing that smoothness out the window. That is a square wave, or as we like to call in the trade, PWM. Well, actually, it's probably a different thing, but like, yeah, some of us call it a square wave, and others will call it a pulse wave, which whatever it is, this is the sound that it makes. Yes. And we also got a sawtooth, which means that it goes up, and then it goes all the way down, and then it goes back up, and then down, and it sounds like this. I hope that's coming off the microphone just fine. Yeah, it is. Okay. Just turn it down a little bit, maybe. Alright, and then we got ourselves a combination of a square wave, and I think so this is what's okay, so this is what we call it's kind of a combination. I forget what it's called off the top of my head, but it's like if you combined the first half of a sine wave, this, with the latter half of a square wave. So it's basically both. It's basically both this and this. And this is what happens when you combine the two. You get nice stuff. And this is basically noise. No matter which key you press, they will always produce the exact same sound. Let me turn off a little bit of the extra processing that I usually have for these. So yeah, that's what noise usually sounds like. And this one is this is the sampler, and this will actually allow you to use custom waveforms for this stuff. So say for instance, like I go into my collection and I want to, like, say for instance, put in a waveform, like say something like this. Looks like this. And once you have this assigned, you can go over to here. And then you could use a waveform like that. You could technically put any audio file as a waveform. So say for instance, let me just go into my collection of really dumb sounds, like, yeah, that works. And that will turn it into a usable a sound. Whether or not it's usable, it depends on what you throw at it, but you could use it. Yeah, almost a sampler. So play like. Ah, it has like a chirping sound when you put it like that. Okay, this one's actually a little shorter. We could use this. Oh my god. Yeah. So mostly you would use this for like waveform, like just like normal waveforms, like say for instance, like this. Like you use this for that. And that's the normal way to use it. But yeah, you could basically just toss in anything as a sample for this. Flamingo, yeah. How many shrimps do you have to eat before you make your skin turn pink? That one.
Object.
Realize you could make like some pretty crazy industrial sounds with this. Yeah, really crazy. But yeah, basics of synthesizers. You usually just need to know what produces the sound, like what's the bass sound that you could use. There's no escape. How did you know? I mean, the rhythms were pretty obvious. But yeah, basics of synthesizers, figuring out what parts of the tool are responsible for making the noise. This is basically the basics of it. This is more or less the basics of it. You could do some other crazy stuff too. So like, instead of like having it like high like this, you can make it higher. Make it a little bit higher. Headache-inducingly high. Yeah. Apologies for any headaches I may have caused for that. But on the other hand, you can also make it lower. Ooh. Perfect for sub bass. Music, airwaves, oscillation goes burr, brain going noise. Sup, dude? Hello, Johan, or Johan. How are you doing tonight? I am messing around with synthesizers. Teaching people the world of teaching people about the wonderful worlds of synthesizing things. But yes. 3OSC is my favorite basic noisemaker of choice whenever I want like simple waveforms and stuff. This is really good for like sub bass, especially if you like crank things all the way down and like, and if you pair that with, say, for instance, like a piano sound, for instance. Flex. You could we're gonna use flex for this example, but you could basically use like any sort of piano for this. So I'm going to use my trusty Yamaha C7 here. Sounds like that. And we're going to layer them so that way both of these play while we do the thing. And that will usually lead you to things like this. But actually, no. This sine wave actually gets in the way when you want to use it for the thing that I actually intend to use it for. So we will actually make limit the range to all of this. So limit the range to all of that. Actually, we could adjust this a little bit better. So let's go back to our synthesizer, and we're going to be getting into this new wonderful world of filters, because filters definitely come in handy when you want to mellow harsh sounds like this. Right, let's reset that for a bit. So filters definitely come in handy for like uh roughing out the harshness of like really harsh sounds, like an unaliased square wave, for instance. You just, and like one of the filters, like you just turn this knob and it makes the thing like a little less harsh. Now it sounds like slightly more pleasant to listen to compared to, yeah. But yeah, there's also a bunch of other filters that you can use. Like you can make things like a little bit. Now it actually sounds like something that would come out of your computer. You know, like a PC, like PC speaker sounds. Like. Yeah. So filters, in this case, one example that I'm going to do is I'm going to take this sine wave, limit it to like this much, lower that down a bit, change the filter, just and then we can just go into our envelope, and we actually want to simulate like a piano, so it's like a long decay, no sustain, something like that. And then you got yourself a nice piano with some really dank sub bass, hopefully. Okay, maybe that could be a little. So that's what this part will sound like, but then you actually play stuff like on the piano, it's like now you got yourself like a sub bass for your piano, and then you get rid of that and you just play it. It's like yeah, stuff like that. Like it does sound fuller, yeah. And the biggest reason why so there's a good reason why I devised this. If you own Contact and you own like a few piano libraries from there, there's actually a knob that you can use on Contact that literally is just this. Like it's literally just the this sub bass thing that you can adjust to make like the low ends like a lot more fuller. So you know, playing all this wonderful stuff. Yes. So yeah, 3OSC is pretty neat. It has basically a lot of things that you could use for just really crazy sound design. Like you got yourself your basic waveforms. It's very simple to use. You just choose a waveform, choose your waveform, adjust other things as necessary. Like if you want to like detune it a little bit. Let's reset all of this. Let's reset all of these babies real fast. As well as this baby. I use BX Subsynth that kind of does something similar, but I might like this approach better. Yeah, it does take a little bit of setting up, but I think once you set it up, you could just save it as a preset and then just drop it on like whichever thing you want to pair it with. It does come in handy, yeah. But yeah, other parts of a synthesizer that might come in handy. The phase offset. So like, how would I visualize this? So say that you have like a normal wave. Like just picture like a normal wave, and like the starting point is like in the center. This basically changes where that point starts. So like this starts in the center, and then this one starts like a little bit like upwards and stuff. Yeah, and then you get like this clicking sound like the crazy. And you get like inverted sounds too. But like if you do it like this, you get like really strong clicking sounds until you like invert it. Wait, that actually gives me an idea. So the thing about 3OSC is that you can actually layer multiples of this stuff. But the thing is, if you crank one of these up to the max, then like if you crank one of these volumes to the max, like it will just overpower like what you have, like this one. So set that to 50. Ooh. You could create like crazier oh my god. It sounds like it's like coming from like it's more 3D-ish. But yeah, that's one of the tools that you can use to like make these waveforms like sound like more stereo-ish. You just adjust the offset of this stuff, and then you just yeah. There's something to mess around with. And other things that you can mess around with is detuning. Which could be good for like making very luscious, like very basic luscious sounds. So like say for instance, if you like add in this. And you can also do it more. You could do it. So this one is mostly just stereo detuning, but you can also make this detune like in general. So like. And that's very like very basic ways of like making the thing sound like a little fuller and like giving them like a different texture and stuff. You can do it with like different waveforms. Sounds even like sounds like well, it sounds a lot fuller. Yeah, add a little bit of effects and you got yourself the PlayStation 1 you got yourself the PlayStation 1 boot up screen. Hitting the brown note right. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry if I inadvertently make anyone crap their pants with my synthesizer play. Oh, wait. This actually does sound kind of actually this kind of sound like a like the PS1 the PS1 boot up sound. It's like the exact same. I hear the sparkles I got right. Really hit the spot. Really hit the spot. But yes, 3 OSC is actually pretty nice. And also there's this handy dandy knob here that you can use to make things even more stereo-ish. So like can you believe that this is all coming from this? We haven't even gotten to the more complicated stuff yet. Dun, 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 dun. You can also mix and match these things too. And this one's an interesting feature of 3 OSC. So you can actually make this third oscillator into like an amplitude modulator, and what that means is that like here, let's do things relatively simple. So let's have our simple oscillator. So this is okay. So this is just one oscillator going off, and if we turn on this. This will actually, so what's actually happening right now is that if you like detune this, okay, let's actually go all the way down so that way. Actually, hold on. I have a better idea. Let's bring this baby into frame, and we'll change it to a oscilloscope, so that way you guys can see what in the heck is going on. So okay, I'm gonna adjust this real fast, so that way it's it's gonna set the update window to something that is easier to see, like yeah, okay, that should be a lot simpler. So we got this, So without the frequency modulation, it's just this. But then as you add stuff, it just slightly deforms the thing. It looks a little bit like that. And this is what this is what it looks like when you modulate this. You get these actually it looks pretty neat. Oh, there you go. That's a lot more visible for you guys. But like that, it's like the waveforms dance. It's like the waveforms dancing. And then if you like adjust it a little bit more, like you make the thing go crazier until it's like, yeah. You could get some pretty interesting textures with this, and interesting like sub bass from it too. Phase shift wobble. Lure, I'm not feeling so good. I feel like I'm seeing sounds. Well, you're just gonna have to deal with it. Quick, where's the vegetable doctor? I'm sorry. I don't have access to that. But yeah. Interesting sounds and textures that you can get from just switching this baby on and just like experimenting with it. I definitely like using it in conjunction with like this. It's a really nice bell sound that you can use for this. Like if you set this on all the way to max, set this to like 12 more than the thing that you're going to use, like this. You got yourself like a really nice, quick and dirty bell sound. It's nice. And you can literally just make that in like a few seconds. So here's a new one. Turn all of these all the way down. Turn all of these all the way down. Turn that up. And then you set your envelopes. Ooh. Ooh, this could actually also be like a nice pad too. I thought you were gonna hit us with the Thomas the Tank Engine. Okay, I'm not gonna do the same musical joke twice. Dang. You can also like mess around, like change the waveforms for the thing. I feel like it's a lot more effective when you use like a sine wave for this though. I've heard this in Hyper Life Drifter or something. Yeah, it's like you just put like very simple Oh wow, this actually sounds pretty dark. Yeah, there's some interesting things that you could do with just a 3-OSC. And I've just gotten the term 3-OSC just ingrained in my head at this point. But yes, that is a good amount of what you can scrape off of. Ba, 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 da, 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 da. So there are other things that you can do with this baby. Other things that you can do with this thing. You can set the thing to monophonic, so that way it only plays like one note at a time. And then you can also set it to like slide to the note. Yeah. You could also set the slide to go like super crazy, like wait. You will make like a nice little like magical girl laser sound with this stuff. Yeah. And you can also you can also have it like you could also have it polyphonic, but you could still have the slide effect too. Lure helped, the sound started moving around. Not my problem. So like in 3-OSC, like that's how you do like little like sweeping, like little like sweeping sounds to like move from one thing to another. Wow, a lot of synths won't let you do that. Yeah, I'm starting to be jelly of this FL stock plugins, dude. This is just like this is just like it's nice. It's a nice feature. I used to use it a lot in like way back in the day when I used to make stuff like before I was a VTuber. And yeah, this is one of the things that you can do alongside a lot of other stuff. It's really nice. And there's also other things that you can modify, that you can like manipulate with the basic stuff around here. So like yeah, you can have volume envelopes, which allows you to go from this to this. This is what it sounds like. But you can also modify the pitch. So So you have something like this, but you can also... Ooh. You could go crazy with this. Instant laser sound. I've definitely heard. Okay then. Are we playing Pac-Man yet? But like if done tastefully, you can like make some really spooky stuff. Like say for instance, like and you just get like these nice, these really crazy weird vibes. Crazy weird vibes. It's crazy. And we're still only on the basic synth. The slight detune and warble gives very nice tape vibes. Yeah. Yeah. See, you can do tape. You can do tape vibes without I guess you could also like sample like tape sounds. Just like have like a tape sound sample and then just have this like playing. You don't need an expensive VST to simulate tapes. See, I'm thinking of someone that is a poor musician that can't afford VSTs and like just gets together with like whatever scraps that I can get. This is probably the whole point of this entire demonstration. Oh my god, easy. Just record on actual tape and then record the tape out. You could do that, yeah. Yeah, we could totally do that. Just like get a dusty tape. Just put it in a tape recorder. So you mean me? I even lack musical change. See, most of my musical life was training free. It was literally just messing around until I saw things that sounded right for me. And I did this for a long time. Like long before I was a VTuber. Like, yeah, it's like Pattern says, like, yeah, this is probably from like making great things in a short amount of time. That skill doesn't come from nowhere. It comes from like years and years of experience and just like, yeah, and then just putting it all together and stuff. So that said, let's move on to something completely different, shall we? So up until now, we have been dealing with what we call in the trade a subtractive synthesizer. So basically it's like, excuse me. So you have a basic, so subtractive synthesis from what I can extrapolate from it is literally like here's a sound generator. Okay, let's get a fresh sound generator. So So this is subtractive synthesis. Because it basically is like you are just adding different sounds on top of things, I guess. Why does it take years, man? Why can't it be like instant? I mean, you just need to like, if you experience like most of my experiences was literally just experimenting. Like, yeah, I will learn a thing. Like, say for instance, I'll watch like a YouTube video on like how certain things like work, and then after I watch the video, I just do my own experimenting. I was suddenly reminded of the SciShow jingle by that one first note. Oh my god. But yeah, so we've been working with what we call in the trade subtractive synthesis. Let's move on to basic FM synthesis. So we'll put all of these babies away and we'll focus on this baby. So this one, I'm not entirely like a huge fan of what this thing calls the default instrument, because as you can hear, if you're already familiar with FM synthesizers, you may notice that this is definitely not 100% initialized. So for those of you that don't know what FM synthesis is, where everything in FM synthesis starts with a sine wave. And in order to get to that, we have to initialize everything. So all of this zeroed out, zeroed out, zeroed out, zeroed out, zeroed out, zeroed out, or like maximized, zeroed out. There you go. That is the true initialization of an FM synthesizer. If you hear basic sine wave, like say for instance, like similar to this, like this is basically where you want to be at an initial state for an FM synthesizer. Okay, so we got ourselves our basic sine wave. So what can you do with this basic sine wave? Well, you can modulate it with another sine wave. So for instance, well, you won't be able to hear it, but just imagine that there is another sine wave that is modulating this sine wave that you are hearing right now. So what we're going to do is we're going to raise it up by 1. We're going to raise this up by 1, and then we're going to raise this thing. And what that is doing is that so technically, if we wanted to actually like play like noises, we also have to raise this as well. That is too harsh. Hello there, John. Glad you can make it to the FM synthesizer demonstration. So you just raise these values until you get something that sounds neat. And then you can It kind of sounds like a strings, a very 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 coarse strings. So yeah, FM synthesis is literally just like taking one sine wave and then just modulating the heck out of it. But you know what? This is actually a pretty bad VST to demonstrate like the actual inner workings of FM synthesis. For this, we're going to be going into something a little bit more complex. Enter toxic biohazard. All right, so we're going to go into here. I do have like my own I do have my own defaults. So this is the default. I had to hide this because like this is using like one of my personal aliases from outside of VTubing, so I got to be careful with that. And like any other FM synthesis, like any other FM synthesis, like this is the basic sound that you want to start off with. We'll raise this up a little bit. So the reason why I'm bringing this up is because here we can because here you can't actually hear the sine wave coming from this modulation right here. You just kind of have to hope that you're getting the sound that you want. Though with a little bit of experimentation, you'll probably eventually get the sound that you want. It's a nice little simple piano here. But in order to better demonstrate FM synthesis, we need to actually hear all of the waveforms that are coming from this baby. So for instance, we're going to have like another two oscillator FM synth. So in FM synth terms, we actually use different terms for this stuff. So in the FM synthesis world, we have two types of oscillator. You have the carrier, which is the thing that actually plays the sound. So oscillator 1 would be considered the carrier in this case. And oscillator 2 is what we would call the and we would have other things in FM synthesis called the modulator. And normally you're not supposed to hear the waveforms that come from the modulator. So in this case, we'll be using oscillator 2 as our modulator, and that's going to modulate modulate oscillator 1, which will then be our carrier. So we're hearing oscillator 2. Normally you're not supposed to hear like the thing that's affecting the other thing. So if I'm reading this patch bay right. So yeah, so if you raise the volume of this, and that's and like this is like, and you heard what this is supposed to be. Like, it's basically just this sound. So this sound is directly if you raise the volume of this modulation, is basically like that. It's basically this, like this sound modulating this sound, and then you get stuff like this. So that is the essence of what FM synthesis is. It's like other sounds modulating other sounds. And then you can like work with it in like very interesting ways. Like, say for instance, like this one, this thing can actually have its own attack. So like, for instance, have that raise up. And if you go back to here, you see that the sound like slowly morphs, basically like that. And that's not all. Like this thing, you can also pitch it up, so that way it's like, so it's like that. So it's basically like an LFO. It doesn't have to be low frequency, I guess, that modulates the original. Yeah, like that. So like we'll have the modulator sounds like this, raises up in pitch like that, and then you get something, and then go back to the carrier. You get you see and then you can also make the thing decay as well, so like this. If you play like lower sounds, like and now we're getting into hardcore ad-lib territory. Changing the ADSR of the modulator makes a filter type effect. That's neat. Yeah. The crazier thing is that, like, especially with like systems like this, where like the modulator, where like you actually have like an entire matrix of like things that can modulate things, you could do some really crazy stuff with this. Let's turn on this oscillator, for instance. We're gonna go back to here, and here's the crazy. Okay, here's the crazy thing. We're gonna have this, so we're going to have this thing be modulated by this. And that's why modulators usually aren't like audible, because like you get crazy pitches like this, which are headache inducing when they're audible. But then let's go back to here. I'll also like turn it back here and also initialize these as well. That's not all you can do. That's not all you can do. You can also make an oscillator oscillate you can also make an oscillator modulate itself. And what that does is basically it adds, it's what we call feedback. Because, you know, if you feed things back into itself, then normally you get like some really unpleasant sounds. Oh, can you modulate an oscillator with an output of an already modulated oscillator? Technically, you could do that. Like in this one, it's a lot flexible to, like something like this, you actually have a lot of flexibility on what you would have as a carrier, for instance. So if you wanted everything as a carrier, you could actually do that. Like if you wanted everything as a carrier, you could do that. But especially if you use like really harsh sounds like this, why would you? I mean, you could probably find like a reason to do that, but like for the most part, you usually just be sticking to like 1 or 2 carriers at best, maybe 3. Cause like if you were to use all of wait, there's no bad sound, it just needs the right context. Exactly. Yeah, I was thinking about it for a second. So let's go back to oscillator 2. Yeah, it sounds hard to use. Yeah, it does take a lot of experimenting, and I think once you know like at least the very fundamentals of how FM synthesis works, it's really just up to you to just like find what like experiment with things and find whatever is pleasant and stuff. Because like you can actually get some really crazy sound design with FM synth. So this is the power of feedback. Yeah. Oh, that's not all. So you know how we can like pitch things up? You know how we can like pitch things up and like have it modulate like that? You can also pitch things down too. So like so if you modulate things with like an extremely low frequency oscillator, you know, LFO, then you get like that wobbling pitch sound. It's fun. Oh. So that's FM synthesis in a nutshell. It's basically a lot of experimentation. Lots of experimentation. Yeah. But you could get some really crazy sounds from this for instance, like let's Uh-oh. Oh. Da, 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 da. There's like, so, yeah, you can accomplish some really crazy sounds with like the right ingenuity. Hold on, let me see if I actually have like, so I do have something around here. Here, I'm going to detach this so that way it'd be much easier to... Oh. Do I have thick FM synth? Oh. Default. So that's our default. Hold on. There's like a crazy effect that I once did with like 4 oscillators. I don't know. It's like a crazy laser sound. So like say for instance like so that's gonna be and then I think you raised this. Now we're getting somewhere. Now we're getting somewhere. Wait. Ayo. Oh my god. Wait, hold on. Let's see if we make it. And then if we just have that affected by yet another one. Oh, does that sound? Oh my god. Oh my god, that sounds pretty acidy. Oh my god. And I just made this in like what, a minute? When the Taco Bell hit. This is... See, FM synthesis can be fun. It just takes a lot of experimentation. It takes a lot of experimentation, especially if you're met with like a matrix like this, which gives you a lot of freedom, but it also gives you kind of sort of like choice paralysis. Like there are so many ways that you can approach things that it's kind of mind-boggling. So yeah, we have that, but what if we bumped up the unison? Oh my god. Oh my god. This is ridiculous. This is redonky donk. Alright, I'm gonna lower these as well so that way things can calm down over time. Oh, they calm down a bit too fast actually. Wow. Okay, maybe that's a bit too short. Wait, hold on. Interesting. Yeah. So FM synthesis in terms of like sound design is really nice. Really nice. Like if you know what you're doing, you can basically make like really crazy laser sounds very effortlessly. But there's also more to FM synthesis than just laser sounds. Let's go back to the default for this. Erase the thing to that. We're going to go back to our two operator thing. So another thing about FM synthesis terminology is that, like, yes, we have things called carriers and modulators, but we don't call like the different parts of an FM synthesis an oscillator. We call them operators. So each oscillator is an operator, and each operator has like a different role depending on what it's doing. So like if it's a carrier, then it's like actually outputting the sound, but if it's a modulator, then it's not outputting anything, it is only affecting what is being output. Yes. I'm glad that some of chat is taking notes. But some other interesting things that you can do is, yes, you can have multiple carriers and they can come in handy. It's basically like combining the powers of FM synthesis with subtractive synthesis. So you're combining sounds to like make something interesting. So for instance, let's say that we want to make like a nice piano sound. This will be on the groove test. Lure sensei probably. I'm not that harsh. So for instance, we can use this. We can use this as like our attack sound. So for instance, so that will mean like an extremely fast decay with no sustain, no. So, and so this sounds like a texture, but this is what the waveform actually sounds like. So combine it with that. This is what it sounds like. But what we're going to do is we're going to max out the volume, and we're going to make the decay very, very short on here as well. Or actually, we'll make the decay short here. So that way it only plays that sound. And we raise the pitch so that way we get a more metallic timbre. And then we turn this baby on. And then we can design this. So let's say for instance we want to have like a sort of like road sound. So like say for instance let's turn this off here. And then we can then turn this up a little bit, see what sort of sounds we get from this. And then we mess around with the things here. We get something until we get something that's a little more pleasant. Maybe lower this a little bit. and then we can turn this down, affect the decay for the carrier, so that way it sounds like an actual piano and stuff. Wait, hold on. So that's what that sounds like. Hold on, we're gonna get something. This is a nice bell sound. Okay. So, yeah, so now that we got our designs in, let's actually turn our release on for a bit. Things could be a little bit fine-tuned, but you get the idea. Like, you can take two different sets of like carriers and modulators and definitely design some sounds from this. But there is actually another thing that I want to try with this. There's actually another thing that I want to try with Toxic Biohazard. And because this is actually a much more advanced form of FM synthesis, there are also filters that we could potentially use. I think this does have a. I think there are filters. So we have a filter that we can use, and basically what this means is that we can make a crazy dance music trope. It's pretty it's okay, first things first. We need a basic oscillator that will decay. So this is our so we have our basic sound here. It's And now we mess around with the filter settings. As soon as I figure out how to turn it on. As soon as I figure out how to use. We're almost... Hold on. Okay, so now we just need to add a few other elements. You can make a donk with FM synthesis. I tried my best to make a donk from scratch with Toxic Biohazard, but this is the closest that I'll ever get. This is the closest that I'll get without a guide. Okay, that's enough of that. But yeah, you can do some really creative things with FM synthesis, provided you know what you know, provided you know the very fundamentals of it. It's just a matter of experimentation, or you can just use presets. It's really up to you. Now let's check out another form of synthesis. This one is what we would call in the trade additive synthesis, because in this case you are adding stuff to the sound. In this case, harmonics. Not to be confused by the guys that brought you amplitude and amplitude and frequency and a bunch of music games. I think they made the first few Guitar Hero games too. Maybe that was someone else, I don't know. But anyways, yes, this is harmless. Everything about harmless starts with the handy dandy sawtooth wave. Or you could change it up. It's slightly brighter sawtooth. Most of these are just like sawtooths, but there's also a square tooth. Hello there, Cyberdruga. Glad you can make it. We're talking about synthesizers today. So yeah. So this is the basis of like this plugin's of this particular synthesizer's sound design. So you could set like but most of what you will see on something like Harmless is sawtooth. So very, very, very harsh sounding sawtooths. There are a lot of things that you could do with this though. So you have this, so like, I know it's a lot, I know it's quite a bit to take in, so let's take it a few things at a time. So you have low harmonics protection. Which not entirely sure what this does just yet, but we'll get to it eventually. But what I do know is that you can actually mix in this thing called a harmonic mask, and what this does is that it lets you craft a sound based on the theory of harmonics. So you have like, so right now we have like with everything down to 0, you have like an extremely weak sine wave. But as you raise different parts of the harmonic mask, you can I'm not sure if that's supposed to do that, but well, anyways, so basically what you do in the harmonic mask, I do apologize for like the high frequencies of this, is that you get like different parts of like the harmonic mask, or like the harmonics, like yeah, basically you just cover like all the ranges of like harmonics, and you basically just craft the sound out of that. Keep just the first 4 and you got yourself 2000. Oh god damn it. Wow. Da, da. Yes. So that's one point of the harmonic mask, is to be able to just like mix whichever sounds you can formulate through combining different harmonic masks. Yeah. And then you can, and then once you get the sound that you want, you can eventually mix it back in. And then once you have your basic sound, you can then turn this baby on, the unison, to make something a lot more fuller. So this is just one of them playing. This is two of them playing. Three of them playing. Five of them playing. There's seven of them playing. This reminds me of the MSX expert startup. Ayo! I'm not too familiar with that, but I'm glad that it. I should probably look that up later then. Super old Brazilian computer. Yeah. It's also a super old Japanese computer too, because that's how I remember MSX. So other things that you can do besides mess around with the harmonic mass to make different sounds. There's a pluck knob. So let's turn this down for a bit. So we have so this is a normal, so this is what it's like when it's 100%, but let's just turn it down a little bit. And basically what this is like a quick and dirty frequency filter that makes like a quick pluck, which comes in handy when you actually want to make, you know, plucks. But then you can have it all the way up, so that way you can work on actual synthesizer sounds. If you want more control over like frequency, over like filtering frequencies and stuff, this is what this whole section is all about. So like you can have like the filters to be, you can like start the filter like full, or you can like have it like all the way down. And then this is where you would probably set like the filter amounts that you're going to like be going to. Hello there, Marine. How's it going? I'm mostly working on teaching people about synthesizer experimentations. So like for instance, like if you have this, like if you have this all the way down, then you can push this all the way up, or push this up, so that way you have like a filter down and stuff. Yeah, it's really nice. That's like a, and that's so compared to the pluck, where it's like a slow decay to like a certain filter, so that way it's really literally just for like making things sound like plugs. But this one gives you like a little bit more control over like how you want things to how you want things to like rise and fall and stuff. So for instance, if you have this all the way up, I guess that means you could put this the other way around. It's basically just like having an attack, but it's actually decaying upwards. It's really confusing if you like frame it that way. So like in this case, you'd probably want the frequency like at least like at a low like this, so that way. Yeah, so it travels to that. Yeah. Yeah. It's great. It's great. I love it. So the thing about Harmless is that it's really strong on the low end. So like you can use this for like really strong like pads and stuff like that, especially if you need like those really rumbly low ends and stuff. It's nice. I'll use this every now and again and then cry when my collaborator tells me that like, oh, can you not use Harmless? I don't have Signature Bundle. Because this comes with FL Studio Signature Bundle. Which is really crazy because Toxic Biohazard doesn't come with a Signature Bundle. You want to know how I got access to Toxic Biohazard? I got all plugins. So all plugins used to be extremely expensive, and then it wasn't extremely expensive anymore, and then I bought it. The end. So yeah, on at least on my projects, like I will like when appropriate and when I'm not busy like being super lazy and using FL Studio Flex, I will usually pop this out. Pop this out, make my own presets, and then just like use them in a song. And while we're here, so like this is like all of the filter stuff, and like I've only scratched like the very basics of the filter. Yeah. So you could like edit you can like mess around with other things like the resonance. Resonance is really good for like super acidy sounds, I think. I don't usually like try to aim for like acidy sounds, so like I usually keep the resonances like relatively low. You can also there's also a global LFO that you can use, and this is basically the knob that dials in that LFO and stuff. It's like LFO also exists here and like in other places as well. Where it would come in handy. I don't usually use it. So that said, like we could also explore some of the other stuff that this synthesizer has to offer, like a harmonizer. So you know how we have like a normal. Okay, so let's set the filters back to normal. So we have that, but we can also add like harmonics or like additional like sounds that we can incorporate. That basically just adds like an octave up, so it's literally the equivalent of like doing like playing the high notes of this, so like, but it just does it for you automatically. So basically it sounds like, you can make, like, have it go up higher or higher, have only the harmonics go up. Really changes up the texture of stuff. It's mostly just experiment with like this sort of stuff, so that way you get the sound that you're looking for. Wait. I wonder if playing that riff will get me copyright struck. Well, guess we'll find out soon enough. There's also other things that you can do to like make things a little bit more luscious, like a phaser. Yeah, it adds like a woo sound to it. So you can also add that too. But I'm not gonna add that. But you can add that. It's just I haven't personally found like a decent use for it, so. But now that we have our bass sound set up, we can set all of these babies up. These are the effects. So you can basically have like this baby. Turn up the unison a little bit. Let's turn up the reverb. We're gonna play this at a large venue with lots of ping pong delay and some really crazy compression. What does this sound like? Oh my god! Oh my god! Woo! Ayo, this could be like a good asset to like an EDM riser or something. Yeah. Help, but Tenchi is forcibly taking me to head. Da 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 da. Wait, hold on. Quick programming of Actually, we could get rid of the... Man, can you believe that we made this sort of sound in like 10 minutes? Roughly? Or maybe it was a little bit more than that, but like... Yeah. Synthesizers are fun, oh my god. It's a bit crazy with the compression though. Maybe I might be going a bit too overboard with some of these effects. We'll keep the venue. We'll change this to warming. Da, da, da. Da, 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 da. You are the piece of me humanity relentlessly feel far and I don't know why. If our love is tragedy, are you my remedy? If our love is sanity, why are you my clarity? Oh my god, see, it's so easy to make like really crazy pads here. Hold on, I'm gonna save this actually, so I'm gonna detach this, take this out of view so that way you don't see my freaking Windows thing. I'm gonna save this as a patch. Holy crap. Harmless IL epic pads. Alright. Dun, 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 dun. At BK, have it your way. You ruled this day at BK, have it your way. This is basically like an instant club remix melody maker. Wait, hold on. I wonder if there's like another. I'm gonna open up another Harmless plugin and see if we can find like a lead. Ooh, this is pretty square wavy. Pretty square wavy. Wave. Oh yeah, Rabbit, you know what you were saying earlier about like, oh, there are some synthesizers that can't do like, say like portamento without making it like, what, like monophonic? Oh, so you can set porta separate from legato. Okay. Okay, so legato. So if you, oh, okay. Wow, FL Studio plugins are really powerful because you could set you could set this so that way it'll just glide without while still being but then you also have the legato, which so legato makes things monophonic, whereas if you just do porta, then it makes things then you just do that. Might actually make me change to FL. Ayo. Ayo. Welcome to the team. Let's learn some FL synthesizer sound design. Learning how to use synthesizers is really great. But yeah, like you could basically just make like a crazy lead synth, and then you basically, and then after that you just find a song you want to remix, and then like this could basically be the melody that carries like the drop. So like after the drop happens, then you basically just have something that goes along that bonus points if you know what melody that song is from. But yeah, total EDM melody synth, like total EDM lead synth that you could use. Oh my god, Harmless is pretty powerful. It's pretty powerful for like especially for like EDM stuff. Like I didn't use it in one of my, I didn't use Harmless in like my the 2 remixes that I've done so far, but I feel like if I were to actually go through like the DJ Iwanami moniker and actually do like DJ sets, I would probably use Harmless as my go-to EDM lead maker. Because it's relatively simple to use. It's relatively nice, like it's relatively simple to use. I am pretty familiar with how things work here. Unlike a crazy synth engine that I could just never wrap my head around. So let's close all of these and open the absolute nightmare that is Harmor. So right off the bat, you probably don't know where to start. And the biggest problem, I don't know where to start. Like I see that there's like a lot going on, but what am I looking at? Hello there, TMS. Welcome. You're just about in time for me to start like wrapping things up. I'm probably not going to experiment too much with Harmor on stream, but like, yes, you do see piano keys, but you also see all of this, and I don't know what is going on here. None of you guys probably know what is going on here. I don't know where to start. Like, even if you go to like default, and it's literally just like, okay, we have our starting point. So yeah. Turn this off. There's at least 5 buttons and 3% of that screen. Yeah. There's some familiarity, just gotta get used to the interface, but that's pretty intimidating. Yeah, look at all of this. I'm pretty sure there are some things that are familiar, that are cause harmless, there's not really that many things. Yeah, there are like a lot of knobs and there's like all of this, but like once you get used to like where things, but like you said, just gotta get used to the interface. But like once you get, I could get used to this relatively easily, but this is like, okay, so I start from the top left, but how do I do things from that point? Because I turn on the timbre and it just enters this. Yeah, I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know what I'm doing. Honestly, harmless feels about as intimidating if you don't look at the filtering section of yeah, this whole section right here is like, but like, cause like, wait, how do I manipulate things on here? Yeah, I don't know what I'm doing. Cause you gotta, okay, so oh my god, which button activates the death lays? Instead of like, looks like you're making a harmonics curve. Oh my god, okay, guys. No, don't clone it. Don't clone it. No. I think I will just stick to the safety of harmless. Like I'm pretty sure Harmer is very, very powerful. Like if you take like the time to learn this, then like yeah, it can be like a very, very powerful tool. Ooh. Oh my god, it's so cool. This synth, oh my god, this synth engine is like really crazy because like yeah, and the envelope is just one part of it. You also got this where you can like route things. Where I guess you could like route things, and this was where like all the effects are, and this is where you can actually change the different order of how things are processed. I feel like this is like the elite dangerous of synthesizers. It's very intimidating, and like there are a lot of things that are doing like a lot of things, but if you can get used to this, like if you can learn this interface and like know what you're doing, you have complete control over how to do things here. Basic wobbling. You like wubs? You like your wub steps? You. Oh my god. Okay. Okay. You know what? You know what? You know what? I'm just gonna stick to the presets for Harmer. But I do love this. What did it just open up? Oh. Yeah, it probably wasn't that big of a deal. One of these days I will sing my own music. One way to learn it is to use presets that sound close to what you want and try tweaking it for a bit. Yeah, that's probably the best way to approach, like, learning how to use, like, relatively intimidating synthesizers like Harmer. Because, yeah, there is just a lot going on. There's a lot going on, but I'm pretty sure, like, church organ. That would have been perfect for that castle jam last week. Oh my god. I was trying to do perfect fit. I was trying to do fits down, but synthesizers are fun. They can be extremely intimidating. Like, oh my god, what bruh. But yeah, I can imagine like something like this would be extremely powerful. Oh, piano sound. Oh, don't. Wait, hold on. Hold on. ちょっと待って。That's not the... Oh, I realized that I changed the... Change all of this. I forgot that I changed all of... Yeah, ちょっと。I just wanna try something for a bit. ちょっと待って。 That's not it. That's it. So this is this and this. So that and then get them layers. Sub bass is always good. It's so great. It's so yummy. And it's also the literal band-aid solution to like the sub bass knob on like contact pianos and stuff. But I mostly just wanted to mess around with that because, you know, piano sounds, which there are 6 of them, and they have Rhodes. God damn it. It vibrates my heart. It also vibrates people's rooms if they're using a subwoofer. I am very sorry for that. I like how my musical groove just gets better as the night goes on, because in comparison to earlier today, I was just playing like very simple tunes. What other piano sounds does this baby have? Okay, Rhodes plus the sub bass wave. What other piano sounds does this thing have? Man, I've been missing out, mostly because of the fact that look at this. Look at all these knobs. Look at all these options. Like, oh my god. What's key bit? Eh. Nice and harmless. Yeah. It sounds like an alien. Ooh. Welcome back to Nice. It's kind of alien-ish. Not entire. I think I like the more vanilla piano sounds more than I do like all of the other piano sounds that exist here. Yeah, I'm pretty sure Harmer is very, very powerful and very, very versatile. It just has an extremely steep learning curve, so it is nice, but I think this hits a lot more personally, and it's a lot like I am personally more used to Harmless than Harm More, and I can program stuff like this. In the span of like 10-15-ish minutes. But yes, this has been my adventures in synthesizers, and I hope you have enjoyed the journey and maybe learned a thing or two, because synthesizers are fun. Synthesizers are what make EDM people happy, even though I don't really make that much EDM. I probably should, though, if I especially want to be one with the DJ Iwanami moniker eventually, like, you know, being my own DJ and like making a bunch of like remixes and mashups, and maybe like doing a DJ set someday, maybe on Twitch. I gotta get it. I gotta make more music friends somehow. Yeah, so hope you guys enjoyed tonight's synthesizer experimentation stream. I know it's definitely like a huge departure to what I've been doing up until this point, which, to be fair, is still a lot of music stuff, but this one is actually like it's more akin to like sound design than it is like making like music production things, or like playing around with like pianos and stuff. It's just one of my hobbies that I want to like share with you guys, because I have a butt ton of interests, and this is one of them. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed tonight's stream. Thank you guys for watching. This is the last stream of this week. I would like to remind you that one of the artists that I remixed, Tofi, she's having her first stream on Saturday. Note that I am trying my best not to use the D word because she herself is not even framing it as the D word. So yeah, go check her out. Saturday, 5 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time. Yes, I will also be participating in arcade game meetup with friends. I will still watch though. So yeah, hope you guys can enjoy that this weekend if you are interested. But with that said, thank you guys for watching. Ah yes, the D word, the Durst stream. Debut. But to be fair, the things that she is doing on her first stream is basically the stuff that you would do in that stream that I would describe with the D word, but I don't want to because she didn't brand it as the D word. So yeah. So yeah, hope you guys can enjoy that. If you guys are interested, once again, thank you for watching, and I will see you guys on the next stream sometime, either next week or the week after. So yeah, I have to mention this because next week is Offkai Expo. So yeah, I'm probably going to be spending next week doing preparations for that. So might not be, if I do stream next week, it'll probably just be like 1 or 2 streams, and then Friday will be, and then everything else is just like winding up to Offkai Expo this week, next weekend. So yeah, hope you guys will enjoy your weekend, and I will see you guys on the next stream. Excuse me. Otsuru, bye bye. Hope you guys enjoyed the synthesizers.